Just as so many people expected, The Marvels is a box office disaster for Disney, coming in well below what was initially projected to be like a $75 to $80 million weekend. Instead, a record low $47 million for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what we get from the sequel to Captain Marvel. And interestingly enough, as The Marvels is having its worst global opening, worst domestic opening, worst international opening, setting all the worst records you could possibly imagine in the MCU. We've all been told for the past several weeks and months as an excuse, already they were using this leading up to this movie, that it's men. Men are the reason that this is going to fail. Of course, men already hate the Marvels. We saw different tweets. We saw different articles about how men weren't going out and supporting this movie because they're just so misogynistic. Well, interestingly enough, we've got some data that actually shows that, ladies, you're the ones to blame. You're the ones that didn't show up. In fact, 65% of the people that went to go see the Marvels, men. That's weird, isn't it? Because when you have massive hits like Barbie that makes over $1 billion worldwide, when you have about a 60 to 65% female audience, man, they turned up for that. They supported that thing. No women came out to see the Marvels. Isn't that strange? Let's take a look at this. Here's a breakdown of the suckers who went to see the Marvels this weekend. Other diagnostics on the Marvels: 65% male leaning, with 45% men over 25, 22% women over 25, giving it the best grades, men under 25 at 20%, and women under 25 at 14%. Biggest demo was 25 to 34 at 33. Diversity demos were 36% Caucasian, 27% Latino and Hispanic, 17% Black, 14% Asian. So it sounds like white men were the biggest category of people that came to see this movie. Isn't that weird? That the comic book universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's almost like it already has a built-in fan base. And that when you decide to give that fan base something that they've rejected time and time again, maybe they're not going to show up in droves to see it. You've been trying to blame men. Men are the problem. Men are the reason this isn't happening. Okay, whatever. Maybe men won't go and support it because you've told them that they're bigots. You've told them that they're racist. You've told them all this shit. Maybe they're done. But where are all these women that you're supposedly making this movie for? That's what we continue to hear time and time again from the actors, from the director, from the producers, from everyone at Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the reason we're making this movie, so these people in the audience can see themselves as these heroes, blah, blah, blah. They don't fucking show up. It's almost like this fictional fan base you think is out there that you can just pander to somebody, that you can just throw a black woman in something, you can throw a young Muslim teenage girl into something, and all of a sudden they'll just come out in droves. You think the audience you're pandering to, you think the fucking most low of them you possibly can. You think if we put a black person in it, they'll show up. No, they didn't. Because it's not about a great story. It's not about a compelling character arc. No, instead, you think that just by shoving a woman in it and making them gay in some cases, you think that that will get them to come out. No, it didn't. Men, ironically, were the ones that came out to support the Marvels, and it's still a catastrophic failure.